Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. G.V.S.R.N.S.A.Sastry, Head Department of Commerce and Management, K.B.N College, Vijayawada. Now we are going to discuss residential status. This is meant for first PP tax procedure students, Unit 3. So the topics to be discussed in this video is meaning of residential status, determination of residential status of various persons, and incidence of tax or scope of total income. Next, first, meaning of residential status. Residential status is a term coined under Income Tax Act and has nothing to do with the nationality or domicile of a person. So, residential status is determined only the number of days stayed in India by an SSC. Nationality or domicile cannot be determined the levy of tax by income tax. That's why an Indian who is a citizen of India can be a non-resident, or an American who is a citizen of America may be a resident of India for income tax purposes. So residential status of a person depend upon the territorial connection of the person with this country. For how many days he has physically stayed in India. So, for different SSCs, we ascertain residential status in different categories. Suppose person includes individual, HUF, firm, company, AOP or BOI, local authority, and any other persons. So, for determination of residential status of a person, one must have to consider 2 points. One is how many days stayed in India. The second one is the control and management of affairs of the business, which means where the head office is situated, where in case of company where it is incorporated. So a brief notes in regard to determination of residential status is, in case of individual, we consider in how many days the SSC stayed in India. Next, second one is in case of HUF, firm, AOP or BOI, local authority and any other person, we consider the control and management of affairs is situated in India or it is situated outside India. So, the special provision is also attributed to HUF along with the control and management of affairs. So, another one is number of days stayed by head of the family named as Karta in India. That is also be considered in case of HUF. So, residential status may be categorized into 2 categories. One is resident, another one is non-resident. So, resident is again divided into 2 categories, ordinary resident and another one is not ordinarily resident. So, in case of residential status of an individual, so the table discuss the residential status of an individual. Suppose if a person be a resident, ordinary resident, he must have stayed in India totaling 182 days or more during the relevant previous year. Or second basic condition is he was in India for a period or periods totaling in all to 60 days or more during the relevant previous year, and 365 days or more during 4 previous year preceding to the relevant previous year. Preceding to the relevant previous year. So one must have note the point. So the period is totaling. It is not at stretch, not at stretch. So it is totaling. So whatever the number of days is stayed in different stretches. Next, and additional condition is must be a resident of India fulfilling at least one of the two above in at least 2 out of 10 previous years preceding to the relevant previous year. So again, a person is said to be ordinary resident. An individual said to be an ordinary resident. He has to fulfill the above 2, and again he has to fulfill 2 additional conditions. That is, he must be a resident in India at least 2 out of 10, and he must stay in India totaling 730 days or more during 7 previous years preceding to the relevant previous year. So next category is resident but not ordinarily resident. So in this category, the basic conditions are common, but he fulfill any one of the basic condition, and he has to fulfill any one of the additional conditions. In case of resident, he has to fulfill one of the basic conditions and fulfill 2 additional conditions. Whereas in case of not ordinarily resident, he has to fulfill one of the basic conditions and one of the additional conditions. From previous year, another condition is also added. That is, a citizen of India or a person of Indian origin having a total income other than the income from foreign sources exceeds 15 lakh rupees during the previous year. So in such a case, the period is reduced from 125 days or more, but less than 182 days. So the period 182 days is reduced from 125 days. A citizen of India who is deemed to be resident in India under class 1A. Next. The third category is non-resident. Non-resident means a person who fails to fulfill both the conditions, both the basic conditions. Basic conditions means who stayed in India totaling 182 days or more, and who stayed 60 days in the previous year and 365 days preceding 4 previous years. So, if a person who fails to fulfill these 2 basic conditions, he is said to be non-resident. Next one is residential status of HUF-FIRM, AOP and BOI. So, the status of HUF-FIRM, AOP or BOI is determined on the basis of control and management of affairs. If control and management of affairs of HUF-FIRM, AOP or BOI wholly or partially situated in India, it is said to be ordinary resident. If control and management of such HUF-FIRM, AOP or BOI was fully situated outside India, that is called non-resident. Actually, the firm, AOP or BOI does not have resident but not ordinarily resident status. It is availed only by HUF. This is determined if head of the family, that is Karta, becomes not ordinarily resident. The HUF is also not ordinarily resident. Next one, residential status of company. So, every company, Indian company is a resident company. However, any other company which is incorporated outside India and is having turnover or gross receipts more than 50 crores shall be regarded as a resident of India if its place of effective management is in India at any time during the relevant previous year. So the condition is, if a company is said to be ordinary resident, so that should be an Indian company. And if a company incorporated outside India, so the company's turnover or gross receipts are more than 50 crores and the management is situated in India, it is also called resident company. Whereas in case of non-resident, any company which is incorporated outside India and its place of effective management wholly situated outside India during relevant previous year, it is called non-resident. Again, another one is a non-Indian company whose turnover or gross receipts less than 50 crores a financial year, it becomes non-resident India. This is another one. So that is reverse to the first point, resident. Another one is in case of every other person, ordinary resident. In case of every other person which has its control or management wholly in India during the relevant previous year. If the previous year, so then it becomes ordinary resident. So if control and management of affairs wholly situated outside India, it is called non-resident. So the firm, AOP, BOI, company and every other person cannot enjoy the residential cannot enjoy resident but not ordinarily resident status. Next, second one is incidents of tax. So here we have two incidents. Where we earn, where we accrued, where we received. One is the place of income earned or accrued, earned or received, and where it is received. There are two incidents. If any one of the incident or if two incidents occurs in India, that is called Indian income. It is put to tax in all three categories, that is resident, not ordinary resident and non-resident. Suppose if both the incidents occurs outside India, that is called foreign income, that is taxable only in case of resident. There is an exception to the foreign income. If both the incidents occurs outside India and such income derived from business or profession, such business or profession set up in India or controlled from India, such income is taxable in case of resident and not ordinarily resident category. So that is given in details. In this slide. So this is the scope of total income. So whatever I said, that is given details in this slide. Thank you.